Good rising. It is currently 3:33. I pressed the record button right at 3:33. I'm praying that I'm able to say everything that Spirit wants me to say and convey the message exactly as I should. But Spirit is telling me just to speak, as you always do, and it will come out as it should. So I was abruptly woken up out of my sleep this rising, and Spirit's been waking me up around the same time lately to get up, to meditate, to clear my mind and clarify certain things within my soul with Spirit so that I can hear, because it is the quietest points during the early rising hours. Most people are sleeping, so a lot less chatter, a lot less noise, a lot less distractions, so that you can hear. And normally when Spirit wakes me up, it's kind of gentle. It's, I'm not like shocked out of my sleep. But today was different. And today was quite different. So I had a dream, and in my dream, I was surrounded by people from my past. People that I used to know, as a younger version of myself. Or an older version of myself, I should say. And in this dream, I was, conversing with these people as I would say if I was that version of myself. However, there was this lady there who seemed off in her energy towards me. And I was baffled because the relationship wouldn't normally be like that. And in the dream, I kept questioning her as to why she was being different toward me. We were talking, and I jokingly said that if I did this, then this person would basically kill me, but in a jokingly manner. And this is, along with still trying to get her to tell me what's wrong with her. So she finally goes and says, actually she sings it. She sings it in a song. Why wait now, baby? You're dead. And she sings it twice. And I immediately wake up. So I'm laying in bed like, what the boik? What in the world was this for? I'm not scared or anything, but just kind of shocked in my energy and not sure. So obviously I'm wide awake now, and I'm meditating on it. And this is the message that I received, and I asked Spirit if I should share it, and the answer was yes, because this message isn't just for myself, but as I share it, the words will come out, and not only will I be able to understand it better, but then the message will also be conveyed to others. Because you know how sometimes you might hear something, from Spirit, higher self, whatever, and you might write it down or you meditate on it, but then when you go back to it later, it's not as clear. It's you may remember it, but the message isn't as spot on as it would be, let's say if you were receiving it for the first time. So that's my reasoning. And this is something that Spirit doesn't want me to question. So here I am, and I ask Spirit, what does this dream mean? Obviously when you have a dream, it doesn't always mean directly what it says. It's oftentimes, metaphoric, or like a symbolization of something else, which can be quite confusing because trying to figure it out. But basically, the older version of yourself is dead. They are gone. They are no longer here. You have shedded this part of yourself. And it is now time to let this version of yourself go. This version of yourself that was insecure or broken, traumatized, or always in fear, or always doubtful, or unsure of themselves. You have been reborn in a sense. You have shed layers of yourself, old skin of yourself, and you are stepping into a different version of yourself. You are not the same person that you used to be. And if these people did see you again, they probably wouldn't recognize you because you've just grown so much. You've healed so much, and you're not the same. You are being elevated in the way that you think, in the way that you process things, in the way that you see the world, in the way that you talk, and what you focus on, and what you give your attention to. And a lot of times we can get stuck in this older version of ourselves, and it's hard to let it go, seeing ourselves from a lens of how we used to be, how we used to behave, how we used to act. But Spirit says it's time to let it go. It's time to step into your purpose and into your power for who you're supposed to be and for the calling of your life. God called you. Why are you doing it? Because God called you. God said it is so. You didn't say it was so. You didn't, you agreed to it, obviously, but you didn't sign up on the documentation, basically, saying this is what it is. This is going to be your life. And you didn't go through all that training for nothing, just to hide and to keep things to yourself. God called you. God called you to be this person. God called you to speak. God called you to stand up, stand firm. God called you to hear, get in position, and be ready and be in place. It's all for a reason. And it's time to align to this version of yourself. It's time to walk firmly in this version of yourself and be one with Spirit in the way that you move, in the way that you talk, in the way that you execute things in life. Because Spirit is with you, and Spirit is trying to get you to tap into this inner knowing within yourself and align to your inner compass of how you're supposed to be doing things in life. Because you have an inner compass and how should I say this? It's sort of a map of how you're supposed to move and how you're supposed to execute and what you're supposed to say and when you're supposed to say it. So the Spirit is saying, let go. Let go of that version of yourself, because they are no longer you, and stop getting trapped in these loops, these playbacks of the past version of yourself. Oh, the light went out. And let's see. Yeah. Right now I even want to apologize because the light is so dim, but it's like, it is what it is. You guys can hear me. I'm here. So we have grace. But we have to give our attention and focus our attention on what it is that we want to create and who it is that we want to be at all times. That is why it's so important to silence the mind and silence the noise and silence the distractions around us, because how can we walk in our full authenticity if we are constantly focused on who we are not, or who we think the world wants us to be? And trust me, I am certainly guilty of this myself. I also have an ego, and I'm learning and growing and figuring things out within myself. And I've said this before. It's like I sometimes go back and forth with wanting to always make sure that I'm being authentic and showing up in my purest form. And the way to do that is to be your purest form. be aligned with that purest form or that version of yourself, because your greatest power is your consciousness, is your attention, and what you give your attention to. So if you are constantly keeping your eye and your mind on the divine for the highest good and will for your life and others, you will be aligned to this authenticity, because it is going to be who you are and what you emanate out into the world. It's okay to be unsure sometimes, because even me, I have fears and doubts within myself with doing this channel, and sometimes I want to hide. I want to crawl into a shell and hide. I'm like, Spirit, I just feel so vulnerable, and I just feel like I'm sharing so much of myself. But it is okay. And you have to trust Spirit, and you have to keep going, that it's all for a reason and it's all for a purpose. So align to this truth. Align to your heart. Align to the safety, and nestle up against the safety within your heart. And be okay with that, because Spirit is leading you and Spirit is guiding you. And nothing can harm you. Nothing can harm you. Nothing can harm you. A lot of times we give things our will. We give our free will over to other things. There are so many creations in this world, because all there is creation, and we give so much power to it. And we make it real with what we believe is true. So if we take our power back and we say, no, this is no longer true for myself. I am living in this new version of myself. I am constantly keeping my attention towards what it is that I want to create, what it is that I want to feel. Because if it doesn't make you feel good, you need to turn away from it. You know what I mean? And I don't mean in a sense that, just chase after things that make you feel good. No, I mean in a sense, like, if it's making you feel depressed, or if it's making you feel fearful or doubtful in yourself or scared or whatever, then turn your attention toward the things that's going to make you feel different. Turn your attention towards how much you are protected, how much you are loved, how much Spirit is with you every step of the way, how there is a purpose for your life, how all you have to do is just align to this voice within yourself and come back and connect back to home within your heart. And Spirit will be there with open arms for you, regardless of whatever creations have been made by the collective conscious outside of ourselves. We get to choose, and that is the power that we have within the collective, because we are now forging a new way, and we need other beautiful souls, just like you, just like me, just like all the souls who are waking up to plant this new consciousness, this new way. This is how the shift is happening. This is how we are awakening and going into new earth. It is our consciousness. It is what we believe is the constructs that we create in this world together. And we are creating anew. I felt very intense energy in my heart. So Spirit told me to play heart chakra music. So I'll be doing that. But focus on that space within you and aligning your heart to love and to oneness, and work on healing that space within yourself, because there's been a lot of trauma and distrust and betrayal, and even self-betrayal in some ways, not knowingly all the time, but it happens, just trying to survive the way we had to survive. But that is over. So it is safe to walk into this new version of ourselves. When you meditate, plant yourself a pole, light pole going to the earth, a light pole going to the sun, and align your chakras. Cleanse your chakras, work on your chakras, all the colors of your chakras. And imagine I always imagine like a pink orb around me, because I just really associate that color to love, or violet or in between or something like that. Just like a force of love around you, and imagine your auric field just being filled with light. My headphone fell out. And from your inner self going outward and taking up a lot of circumference, a lot of space with this light, and stand firm in this, that you are safe and you are protected, and you are loved. Always, 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 always. And we are strong, and we are here, and it is okay to do what it is that you're supposed to do. It is okay to step out there and follow this inner knowing that you have. Follow the things that you know you're supposed to be doing, because we need you to step up in whatever way that is. And it doesn't have to necessarily be in, the normal way that you would think, like in a public way. It could be any way, anything that you're led to do, because you were meant to do it and you were called. So I think that's it. And my prayer is that whoever's supposed to receive this message, that you will receive it and it will fall on the right ears. But I love you, and I'm going to get out of this car now because it's cold, and go back inside. Go to sleep. Okay, bye.